Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about shenanigans, right?
Alright, so I did go ahead and click it this time.
You fucking click it or tick it, dude. Click it.
I clicked it,
or
I
tick
ticked it, and then I said,
I'm
welcome
gonna
to
suffocate. Punk ass.
And Random Heroes Cheeky Shenanigans.
Welcome to Cheeky Shenanigans, y'all.
Y'all, my name is Jesse, aka Random Hero.
My name is Nick, aka Punk Ass with an extra ass for you.
And while we were setting up, we were discussing accents again because we both try to work on them a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're working on a Texas one? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I was working on an Indian one, which will sound really racist.
Well, I mean, they're accents. They're supposed to sound kind of stereotypical, you know?
Okay, all right. Indian. Okay.
If you've been working on it, let's hear it.
I'll trade you. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. I'll trade you 2 sheep for the 1 camel, my friend. No, this is not okay. These are my cows, not your cows. You pulled your pants down right now. Welcome to 7-Eleven.
Man, I've been getting over being sick for the last week and a half.
Yeah, what's with everybody getting sick?
It's been going around. That was a funny bit. I couldn't stop coughing long enough to fucking laugh.
Okay, all right. Give me a Boston accent.
You want to do Boston?
Boston? Go
Wicked
take out
awesome.
the fucking trash, you fucking fuck.
It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome, and then
Awesome.
awesome. There's Boston, and then there's fuck. What was the other one we were talking about?
Minnesota?
Well, yeah, you know.
Sure, you betcha.
Nah. Chicago.
Chicago. Yep.
Chicago, the Chicago Bears that suck.
The Bears. See, like when they do accents on Saturday Night Live and they're talking about Chicago, they don't care if it sounds, stereotypical. Like that's the only reason they're supposed to be from Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe doing your Indian accent and talking about trading sheep for cows might make it racist. but I mean, doing the accent itself isn't. And I would defy any person listening to tell me that they've never attempted accents. And when they do, it's probably stereotypical.
Well, it's funny because I feel like the East Coast has accents of different kinds of different states. And you come over here, it's not like California doesn't really have one. We sound the same as California.
And that's the thing. When you go to college from like another part of the country and you take communications classes for television or whatever else, they teach you to talk like the West Coasters, because while we do technically have an accent, because everyone has an accent to someone, we have the best diction and the most like widely accepted and easy to listen to accent of
So we
all
have
America.
we have like the dumbass voice. Is that what you're saying?
No, we have the voice that, like if you're in England, there's a bunch of different accents, but like there's the proper London accent,
Yeah.
So that's like what we are. We're like the proper accent of America, and people can try to dispute that, but the fact is, that's what they do in the industry and in college and stuff. They teach you to talk like us.
Oh, your mom goes to college.
So, and then because you put yourself out there, so I'm gonna do my accent, the Irish one.
Okay.
I was having trouble thinking of it until I was telling Nick this before the show. There's a key phrase that I use to remember the Irish accent. And I think it's the guy from Portlandia who first brought that concept to my mind. But I just think of the phrase hard R's because that's how they talk in Ireland. They have a really hard R despite all of the different, soft R's you would get over in England.
Can you say potato?
Potato. And it's a different cadence too. You're putting an inflection on different parts of the word, and it's so hard to try and do that after 30 some years of speaking stupid English,
I wonder like Africa accent.
There's a bunch of them. Oh God.
McDonald. Is that not it?
Click, click, bloody click, pancakes.
Fuck, dude, it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. And, I mean, luckily the show we went out on for that little break was Abby, and we got some really good feedback about her episode.
Talk about stereotypical strippers. She fits the whole profile
You didn't know what to do with yourself while she was on. She was actually like embarrassing and making you blush.
I know. Well, like I was like, fuck, I wasn't ready for this. I'm like, fuck. It caught me off guard.
It was good though, and I really hope that she does stand up, with us. And you've been working on some more bits too.
I have.
And so are you getting ready to actually go up and do like an open mic comedy night with me?
I feel like I want to watch 2 or 3. I feel like I might be okay going up there and trying to talk to the crowd, but then once I start going into my bit, I feel like I'll probably fuck up or like not say my words or mumble.
Not say my words. My big boy words.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a mumble rapper. Mumble rapper.
Mumble.
Yeah.
Gucci gang.
Yeah. Mumble rapper. Face
excuse me.
tattoos.
Yep, that's one of my bits.
Can you color my whole head multicolors and
Yeah,
tattoo
dude.
my face? And
Fucking
I'm
forget-
gonna rap about Xanax.
Yeah, it's fucking like it's like when I don't know, like Rancid or like Travis Barker did it 10 years ago. I don't know. They'd have like one little tattoo in their face. You know what I mean? Now it's just like
with Post Malone and
Yeah.
that Tekashi guy or
fucking
whatever.
6ix9ine.
He's probably the fucking multicolored popsicle on the end of the hot beef stick of his celly in there,
Yeah, I'm sure he's gotten raped. He's just not. He'll probably rap about it soon.
I don't know
He's
if
in
rappers
jail.
want to rap about the time they got raped. I think they usually rap about the times
Fuck.
they're on the other
Dude,
end.
I watched this one series called Jailbirds on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
a new series.
Okay.
And it's crazy to think that I know they're trying to better themselves in there, but the
Okay.
stories that they're telling and the shit that they've done, it's like I've never knew how bad of society we can really have.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Just like they're like in there for assault or fucking murdering, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, I sit here every day and do a fucking job and I try to be good, and there's people out there just like, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot someone out in their driveway. Like, how does that happen? I don't.
I mean, I'm sure that every single person in there has a completely different type of story that led up to it.
Right.
I can't imagine ever killing someone either. Like, and if you go to war or something, you don't really have to imagine, and you're not like a murderer. It's sanctioned killing, if you will.
Yeah, no, it is totally weird to think about. Like, if you go to war, it's okay to kill somebody because you
Yeah.
have that like contract. I don't know.
Yeah, but like at the same time, is it ever really okay?
If someone's trying to kill you back, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's the only okay way. Well, no, because then if someone tries to break into your house and kill you and you kill them, you can fucking go to jail for that too. It's weird over here.
Yeah, and it's a question I wrestle with a lot. Like I watch a lot of John Oliver's Last Week Tonight, which is amazing if you're still not watching it yet. And he's done a couple pieces that touch on capital punishment and whether or not it should be legal or whatever. And I totally forgot where I was going with that. But it's a
been a
thought.
while.
It's a thought that comes up now and then, and there's a bit in Rick and Morty also at the it's like the last episode of season 3, and they're like fighting the president.
Yeah.
And that Rick tells them all, like don't touch me, or like I've got a defense mesh in my skin or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the guys goes up and touches him, and he just falls over dead. And they're like, "What happened?" Rick's like, "He died." And they're like, "Why didn't you just knock him out?" He's like, "It's a deterrent. Everyone wants to be knocked out. No one wants to die." And it's like, yeah, you can't just, if someone's trying to kill you, you can't just knock them out like they do in the movie. It's like, you might have to make that fucking decision.
Or being like on the other end of that situation too, like having a gun to your head, like does your life really flash before your eyes,
In my experience, no, because
No?
that's happened to me twice in my life where I've had a gun literally pointed at me, like in my face. There was no light flashing before my eyes or anything. There's a weird kind of sense of calm that comes over you when suddenly you realize that your fate is no longer 100% in your control.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of waiting to see what happens. And I mean, you can do whatever to
No.
get out of the
Do
situation.
you just
but-
like let Jesus take the wheel, or do you do something about it?
Well, I mean, I'm not actually Captain America despite all the clothing I wear of his, so it's
Well,
nothing
yeah.
like that. But I mean, yeah, both times I had it happen, it was just staring it down like, okay, am I going to be the type of person who's going to go out groveling for his life, or am I just going to, stand here and fucking man up?
What if you just like grab his dick?
Dude, there was a video going around of like the perfect way to stop a fight. And these guys are like trying to pick on this one dude, and then he just like strips naked and starts chasing him around.
that would work for me.
So if you were pointing a gun at someone and he whipped his dick out, you would run away?
Yeah, what would you do in that situation? It's fucking...
I mean,
the gun I would have would probably be like a water gun, but
Okay, so let me get this straight. In your fantasy, you're holding a water gun to a person who then has to whip his dick out and chase you around with it?
That's like my biggest fantasy I've always wanted to happen. But we're in a nice hotel room, okay?
Oh.
And then room service comes, and then the guy walks in, and he sees me holding the water gun to the guy's in his naked head. And the guy's like, oh, shit. Sorry, guys, I didn't know this was the party. And the fucking guy that brings the food, he comes and joins the party. And then he comes behind me, and he's naked, okay?
Yeah.
He has 2 water pistols, okay? And it all just ends up,
No. Let's keep.
I can't keep it going.
Yeah. Keep it going.
I
Come
can't
on.
do it.
You look like you were finally getting out something that's been weighing on your mind for years.
Oh, fuck, man. That was funny.
Oh, my goodness. So what you want to talk about, man?
Did you know that Hulk Hogan had a fucking porno? Did you know that?
Is it the Paris Hilton one? Is that him with her?
No, I don't. I watched this new stand-up. His name's Brendan Schwab. Brendan Schwab. Okay. He has a couple podcasts. He's finally, he was an MMA fighter, and then he realized he sucked really bad. And then the comedian Brian Callen that they have a podcast with, he helped him get into stand-up because that's what he always wanted to do.
Is that the kid and the whatever?
The fighter and the kid.
Fighter and the kid. Yeah.
And his dad is the one that always wanted him to fucking do fighting, and he always wanted to do comedy, but he tried to impress his dad first and then switch. But he was talking about how he was jerking off to fucking Hulk Hogan's sex tape, and he was feeling weird about it. And it's just, I didn't look it up because I didn't want to watch it, but it's just hard to imagine like Hulk Hogan all old and like saggy and fucking, I don't know.
Wait, is it a recent one?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a recent. Yeah, it's not like the
old man balls everywhere.
Just
Hulkamania, ballamania.
I'm about to come, brother. Hold on.
I wonder if he calls ladies that he's banging brother.
I know. I used to grow up watching wrestling, dude. So
did you?
Yeah, fucking.
Who were your favorites?
Stone Cold Steve Austin was my main guy to go to.
Yeah. Did you like any other ones?
I liked NWO back then because it was WCW and WWF until they merged.
NWO, was that when The Rock was really big?
Not yet. That was like with like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan. He joined, and Sting was my favorite. Sting was a good one.
I haven't seen much wrestling. I'm familiar with a couple of those names. Like I think I've heard of Sting. I definitely know Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Hulk obviously, but
Austin 316s means I just whooped your ass.
Okay, yeah. Here's something that I've been wanting to ask for a long time. Like the old Parks and Rec meme where he's like, I don't know what this is and I'm too afraid to ask. Like, I've been afraid to ask this because I don't watch wrestling and the memes are everywhere.
Know it.
You might. Why does everyone call John Cena invisible?
Oh, because his fucking little catchphrase is like, he goes like this and he's like, you can't see me. And then he like does his finishing move.
Okay.
So I guess that's...
While everyone's watching him?
Yeah, while everyone's watching. It's just a fucking thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the memes are funny in their own right because if you just assume that any guy is visible, they're like camo memes.
Yeah.
Like if you see some douche walking around in camo pants who's not in the military and you're like, whoa, dude, I can't see your legs. They're the same jokes, but it's just with a person,
I know. I always thought that was funny. I mean, being out in war and wearing camouflage, does that shit really work?
Well, yeah.
Like maybe in the rainforest or what the green and shit, but like being out in the desert in the sand, like
yeah. I mean, not every camo is built for every environment, obviously. But the idea of it and the newer camo, how they have the little blocks on there instead of like hard lines.
Yeah,
it's because from a distance that starts to blend into like the surroundings and all that. It doesn't really look like much up close. but no one's going to be right up in front of you while you're fighting a war most times. It's like you want to get the element of surprise. And so they digitized the camo, I don't know, 20 years ago, something like that, I think, using optical concepts that video's been using for a long time. And supposedly it works, but then you see like the black and white and pink camo, and you're like,
Yeah.
what are you trying to blend in with? You know, fucking
Vaginas.
Weight Watchers meeting? Or I don't know.
1-800-JENNY Craig?
Is that on your speed dial?
It used to be.
You know what's funny? I don't think people growing up now will know what speed dial is.
Kids now won't even know what 1-800-FAT-CHICKS is either. The 1-800. You never caught like, okay. My parents like to gamble, okay? So I was hanging around casinos and shit a lot when I was a kid.
Wait, I just want to comment on how funny it is that you say, have you never heard of 1-800-FAT-CHICKS? And then you start the story by saying, my parents love to gamble.
Yeah, well, because back then we didn't have cell phones, so it used to be payphones. And there's always payphones in the casino, so I would dial like 1-800-FAT-CHICKS or 1-800... I don't know.
They had payphones in the casino?
Yeah, or suck dick, and it would be like the stupid sex numbers you would call, but they would always have like an intro that you can hear for free, and it'd be like, you waiting for me to touch blah, blah, blah. And it'd have like sexy voice, and I'd be like, oh, all right.
So as a kid, you'd go to the casino, pick up a payphone, and call just to hear the free intro of like a sex line?
Yeah. I would try different sayings like fat chicks or big dicks or every sex thing I could think.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Yeah. You know, that should go in your stand-up. That's a story that, because, you know, one thing that I love about some stand-up comics that I've never gotten control of yet is being able to do like good, not impressions or accents, but like being able to pantomime things or being able to, you know, as part of a story, do someone else's voice or something. Mm-hmm. So if you, do that bit and then you do a couple different intros where it's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And then all of a sudden you call one and it's like Gilbert Godfrey, like, oh my God, baby, how are you doing? Like that'd be the funniest.
Okay, yeah, that would be a good bit. And then I don't know. It was a lot harder back then as a kid, trying to find porn.
A little boy and his parents walk into the casino. He picks up the receiver and calls this sex line.
Press 1 if you would like to speak to a fucking fat chick. Press 2.
Press 2 for Gilbert Godfrey.
And please enter your credit card. Or be like, oh, I don't have one of those.
Oh, and press 3 for Bono.
Why does everybody hate Bono? I guess
I don't hate him. I mean, he's full of himself, but I don't hate him.
I mean,
he does good shit around the world. How can you really hate that? I mean, like the guy from Nickelback is probably just as douchey as Bono, but does a lot less.
Yeah, what's with like the Imagine Dragons too coming into the same category as Nickelback?
I'm not familiar with that.
No, but do you know who Imagine Dragons is?
I know the name, and I think that I've heard some of their songs, but
they're coming into the same thing as Nickelback. Everyone's starting to hate them.
They're like the new Nickelback?
They're like just as bad as Nickelback.
Well, you say that, but when Nickelback is the gold standard to which you hold other bad bands, it's never gonna. It's like the N-word, you know. When
what,
you
Ninja?
No, but like people will compare, like, oh, I think that the word cunt is just as bad as the word. As bad as the N-word, and it's like, no, if you're not willing to say the N-word, that's the worst word, you know. It's like the gold standard. So I think Nickelback is like the N-word of bands.
It is. Porch Monkey, let me think what I was saying, dude. So how's it going? Pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to play a game.
Yeah, really quick. This isn't really a game, but it's just one I wanted to bring up because the idea is funny. What is your like porn name if you do like the name of your first pet and the name of the street you grew up on?
Oh shit. Well, would the pet name be the first start of the name?
Yeah. That's how I did mine.
Street name. Well, I guess it would have to be the street name I can remember growing up on, and my dog's name now would be Ollie Arrowhead.
That's a good fucking porn name. Ollie Arrowhead?
Yeah.
Dang. Especially considering your dick's about the
I
size
know.
of an arrowhead.
I know,
you
dude. That's perfect fit.
Little less pointy, but
I
not
would
much.
I would be coming in and be like, suck this arrowhead. Let's get it going. Yeah. That's what
I
I'm
got
talking
this
about.
artifact from the Stone Age in my pants.
Yeah. It's from the caveman arrow.
I can't do the high pitched voice right now. I'm too, my throat's.
I
gonna-
have no money for women.
No.
Oh, please bend over.
You take my arrowhead. All right, mine. I grew up technically on a numbered street, but the nearest street that had a name.
It didn't have a name. It was just 546
It was
6th Street.
what was it? It was 150th place was the actual street I grew up on.
Oh,
which
okay.
That doesn't count. So I took the name of the first street nearby that I knew, and my first pet name, and mine would be Flash McRae.
Flash McRae.
Because my first pet was a fish named Flash the Wonder Fish.
God damn it. Hurry up, everybody. Flash McRae's coming in the set.
And he's done. And so it's also accurate.
You know, I want to know what those porn dudes use to last long. Do they whack off 3 times? Because I know they don't last 45 minutes in the first fucking run.
No, dude, they're on a set and they're filming, so they film a scene, and even if it looks natural, there's always cuts, and they stop, and then they set up another scene.
I feel like that would be hard to do.
Yeah, they probably bust 3 to 5 nuts during a hour-long video shoot or
It's
something.
like if you like think about like our life in general, I don't think men were supposed to last that long. Just like
No.
like isn't it reproduction, policy, right?
Yeah.
If the world was gonna end or you needed to restart the population, it should be just a quick in and out, just like a quick 30 seconds. Bam, I'm pregnant.
And that's how it is for almost all other animals. We're one of the few groups that has sex for pleasure also. So I think that's the only reason that we last longer is because we enjoy it and we want it to last.
We have to last longer because then the girl, if you don't, is going to go talk shit to the other girls, and then you're going to be lonely all your life because you suck at having sex.
She doesn't just talk shit to the other girls. Lindsay's told me all about your little left curved banana going on there.
Well, at least it's a banana.
A plantain.
Yeah. This guy?
The little guy.
Little sausages?
This little guy. Yeah,
Little sausages?
little cocktail weenie.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's jump to another one then, because
we can't wait 2 weeks because I feel like we get out of whack a little bit.
Well, and we're recovering from having one of the best guests we've had on in a show where like we didn't really even have to talk much.
I know.
We just kind of set her up, let her do her thing, and we're just kind of along for the ride.
Like, she's going to be like a 60-year-old lady just banging random dudes still to this day.
Random dudes our age now.
Yeah.
She'll be in her 60s just, going around all the strip clubs like, I used to dance up there. I don't know why she sounds like Gilbert Godfrey again.
Little walker, I'm coming. Just bust that dick out. I'll be there in a minute.
Let me shake it. Rattle it around.
Don't get me wrong. My lips never used to hit the floor, but back in my day. I hope she watches.
Wherever I walk, you can tell there's a snail trail.
God damn it.
And the best part is when she hears that clip, she's going to be cracking up.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And there's a couple of guests I'd like to get back on, but in the next few weeks, Nick and I were talking before the show, like we're going to be getting in a lot of guests because surprisingly, a lot of people seem to want to do this show.
Yeah, I wonder why. I don't get it. We just sit here and talk shit all the time.
I think that's why they want to do it, because there's no real format,
You know, my buddy, one of my coworkers, he said he'd come on, but he'll probably never watch this. I don't know. He's not really very opinionated, but he does have like a really good story. It was from like 6-7 years ago. He went out to Seattle and he met.
You're gonna tell his story before he's on the show?
I don't know if he'll even come on, but it's a little quick little. He met some random woman, and the woman wanted him to have sex with them, so they went to her house. But she was married, and her husband was there, and I guess her husband watched, and he didn't really know about it, and he stayed there the next morning, and I guess they like made him breakfast and shit, and he was all weird. Yeah, and I looked that up, and that's like cuckolding, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah,
Where-
yeah.
So it was like a cuckolding situation that he wasn't really aware of. It's got to be weird. Just
Yeah, and that's a word that I didn't even know the definition of until only a couple of years ago, but that's just basically if you've been cheated on, you're a cuckold.
really.
Yeah,
Oh,
cuckoldry.
cuck.
Isn't that a word now though, like cuck by itself?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Cuck. Cucking. Cuck.
What does it mean?
Well, you're gonna ask me for definitions? I'm the dumbass here on the show. You're the smart one.
Well, you're supposed to cucking know a couple things.
I know a cucking couple of things.
Why
but
don't
not
you
that.
Google it?
Google it, guys.
Just Google
okay,
it.
fine. I'm gonna Google it.
He's gonna Google it.
gonna Google
yeah,
it.
let's hear the. Let's go with the Urban Dictionary version.
Urban Dictionary. Cucking.
yeah.
I'm gonna assume that's with a K.
Just no, it's CUCK.
really?
And just don't even do the ing. Just cuck.
Cuck meaning. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cuck.
Cuck.
Oh yeah, you want to do Urban Dictionary.
I mean, I assume that's where we're gonna get the accurate use.
Top definition. A man who is desperate for acceptance, approval, and affection from women. This desperation has led to compromise of his beliefs and values. The description, oh no, that's not description, of his dignity and self-worth. It's not really what we were going for, I think.
No,
I
well,
know John's always wanted a girlfriend, but since him and Mary started dating, he's become a cuck. She spends all of his money and flirts openly with other men. I can tell it bothers him, but he's so afraid of losing her that he doesn't say anything.
Huh?
Or, second one, a man who lets his wife or girlfriend have sex with other men. Often the man lets her do whatever she wants and treat him like shit.
Sounds like the first definition.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
I guess cuck means you're a little bitch and just don't have any say in the relationship.
Well, and
there's a lot of them out there.
it sounds like kind of a fine line to walk too, because on the one hand, there's definitely an issue of toxic masculinity going around where, as feminism is becoming more and more powerful, especially online, you've got kind of a opposite swing from these guys who are solely defined by their masculinity, feeling threatened by all that. And then, but at the same time, they're making fun of guys who are on the side of like women. You know? And it sounds like that's a word used by more toxic men to kind of try and put other guys in their place. And that first definition had me worrying that maybe I was one of them, but like I don't have a relationship and I don't compromise my beliefs for a woman, but I'm definitely like, I do try and be good to women and try and be an advocate for them,
Here's a little game, okay?
All right.
We're going to do the top definition of Urban Dictionary for our name, okay?
For our name?
Yeah, so Jesse,
Oh, God.
your name over here. A super amazing guy. He's sweet, funny, caring, cute, hot, lovable, playful, and a bit of a troublemaker.
Are you kidding me?
He has pretty eyes. He loves anime and music, and he says some of the sweetest things in the world. He's unique. He always knows how to make you smile or laugh. Can definitely cheer you up when you're down. He's very trustworthy. I feel like someone wrote this about you.
Well, you've got to be fucking reading it wrong, you goddamn idiot. How fucking
No.
dare you? Get out of my house. Really? It says all that?
Yep. All right.
It's not me.
Let's do Nick here.
A little,
Oh, wow.
what? Oh, let's hear it.
Nick, the top definition is some asshole that will steal your bagel.
I was not ready for that, and I was taking a drink of soda. I thought it'd be longer.
Oh, that's it.
No wonder I never have any fucking bagels in my house.
That is it. Oh, dude. I'm going to start fucking stealing bagels, dude.
That is so specific.
How is that the top definition?
And how is it like specific to? Who was so wronged by a Nick stealing their bagels that they made that the definition of that name on Urban Dictionary?
Yeah. So whoever's the Nick stealing fucking bagels, dude, you're an asshole.
But your work is obviously appreciated too.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's going to be a new game for when guests come on. We're going to Urban Dictionary their name.
Yeah. In fact, why don't you go back and let's do one for some of the guests we've already had right now.
Okay.
Like, do Aaron. I mean, that'd be redundant for you, but make sure you spell it Aaron.
Okay.
Double A.
No, yeah, no, it's weird how you have two A's. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But anyways, A guy who looked up his real name and then is laughing at how stupid people's definitions are. I'm Aaron.
Are you making these up?
No, dude. These are the top definitions right here.
You're
yeah.
kidding me.
No.
These sound way too like specific to what we do.
I know. It's weird.
Try Abby.
Abby. Is it Abby with the Y or an
A-B-B-Y,
I-E?
yeah.
Okay. I hope it's... This one's kind of long, so I'll just do like the couple sentences.
Yeah, whatever.
Abby is kind, cute, and loving girl, and Abby typically has brown hair, but sometimes it can be blonde. They are often shy, but once you get to know them, they are fun, talkative, and wild. Huh.
I mean, she's definitely not shy.
I know. Huh. Well,
That's interesting.
Here's a wrong fact. Abby can make great girlfriends because they are cute, caring, sincere, fun, and exciting, but usually have one certain boy that they given their heart to. Well, that's not it.
Yeah, I think that
Yep.
she dispelled that myth last week for sure. All right, let's do Skye. S-K-Y-E.
S-K-Y-E, everybody. Let's see. A name for a beautiful girl. She can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I feel like that's true.
I don't know anyone who would consider Skye their worst enemy.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if she hated you, I feel like she could be, you know, I don't think she has that in her, but I feel like she can have that type of side if she wanted to.
She's the type to just write someone off instead of actually...
Yeah, that's always the best way.
Yeah, like, if you really fucked with Skye, which I've seen it happen before, like, she'll call you out, but she's not going to go out of her way to, like, get back at you. Like, in fact, I don't know if I've ever seen her do anything vindictive to anyone the whole time I've known her.
The second line is, she is very loyal and will fight for what she believes in. She
Yeah,
tends
that's
to
true.
have a temper and attitude. She keeps her temper under control most of the time. Huh.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Yeah. Huh.
All right, how about Ben?
Ben. Is it little Ben? Because
Well,
he has a little wiener?
I don't
Or-
think that Urban Dictionary will have a definition for little Ben. We'll just put little in front of his definition.
Ben is an amazing guy, one of the sweetest you'll ever meet. He is quiet, though, until you get him alone, and he becomes the funniest and cutest guy ever.
Aw,
That's
sweet.
so full of shit.
All right, how about DJ Fallen? David?
Hey, wait, I wonder what happens if I put DJ Fallen in here real quick. Nope.
Nope.
Sorry, dude. You don't fucking exist.
Yeah, you're going to have to update your Urban Dictionary, dude.
Yeah. Okay, we'll put in David.
This is interesting. I didn't even know that this was a thing. That I didn't know they put names
Yeah.
in Urban Dictionary.
Most hilarious person you will ever meet. Sweet, kind, and of course funny and cute. Although he might admit to none of those things, unbelievably caring and willing to stand up for what he believes in.
Oh, he is so dreamy.
This is fucked up. Every other name we put in here, it has like a fucking essay or a few sentences.
Is
Mine
Nick steals your bagels?
That's fucking Nick's an asshole. You're stealing bagels, dude.
Now, we do have a couple of, like, weekly listeners. I want to give them a little treat. Look up Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Stefenie.
F, huh?
Yeah.
Steph?
Yeah, I don't think when she was born, I don't think that they could afford both
Stefan?
letters, so they just put an F in there.
I know, dude.
Stefan?
You had to pay for names back then.
You pay by the letter.
Yeah. This girl is simply hypnotizing and mysterious. She is often described as an animal deer, very wisps in nature, like a butterfly flying away ever so slightly out of the grasp of danger towards fruitful pursuits.
What?
Yeah, it is hard to catch a Stephanie, but if you do,
What, like a fucking
she's a
Pokemon?
prize, I guess, dude. Not the type to let her guard down easily. She has an ambition that keeps her goals in life priority over love interests.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, that one.
I'm not sure. I mean, no, like she's a great person and all, but I don't know. I'm not even 100% certain I understood what you were reading because
Yeah, it was weird.
yeah, did you say the word wisps in
Yep,
there?
wisps. W-I-S-P-S, wisps.
Oh no, it's spelled wisps, but it's pronounced throat warbler mangrove.
Oh, dude, that's it. That's right. I'm gonna put Ron in here for a second.
Yeah, go ahead and do Ron.
Let's see. Short for later on. Short for later on, as in saving something for another time in the future. Ron.
Yeah, we're gonna save that one for later.
Yeah.
Do Brie.
Now we're doing Bree, like B-R-E-E, B-R-E, or B-R-E-I.
Just BRI.
B-R-I, huh? There's a lot of different fucking...
Yeah, not the cheese.
Girl too cute, too perfect, too unique, and petite. She's a definite good choice in being with. She's a beauty inside and out without a doubt.
That is going to go to her head so badly.
Yeah? Well, I better not, because I know Brie, and she's a piece of shit. I'm just kidding. I don't know you.
No, that was probably the nicest one out of all of them that I've read, except for maybe my own, which was, I still don't believe that at all. Did you spell my name right when you did that?
Yeah, it's fuckface, right? That's how you spell it?
Fuckface13.
I forgot the 13.
At hotmail.com, but it's MALE.
You know, our Hotmails are probably the most fucked up names for being back then. Did you ever have a fucked up Hotmail name?
Not fucked up, but I had some of the dumbest like online screen names. Like, okay, so my Hotmails weren't that bad. They really weren't. But when I was in junior high school was when like AOL Instant Messenger started really becoming a thing. And I had some of the most embarrassingly stupid like screen names for that ever. And in fact, Brie, the one we were just talking about, she's going to know this because we used to chat online a lot in like high school. I had one on AOL. God, I'm getting embarrassed just remembering this.
It's getting embarrassed, guys.
So whenever I say a word that's a number, like 4 or 2, it's an actual number in this screen name.
Okay.
The screen name goes, Bomb Guy for you too.
God damn it.
That was the
Bomb
dumbest
guy for you too.
So stupid.
For
Yeah.
you too.
I had another friend, Justin, in high school, and he's another one that we would talk about like online a fair amount. He's the guy who introduced me to Kevin Smith movies and shit. Like, solid dude. But he's the type who would change his screen name like once a week or once a month, and it would always be a reference to whacking off.
Really?
Like one of his screen names was Have a Tug.
Oh, Jesus.
Just stuff like that.
Fucking doing online gaming back then, it was always funny saying like Pussy Crusher or fucking. It's always some stupid shit like that.
Destroy the crease.
Yeah.
Crushing it. Oh. Okay, so here's a story from when I worked at Xbox. So I worked there in like 2010 down in Oregon.
Did you have to wear ankle bracelets? I heard you had to wear those.
No.
And if ever you try to leave, it'd buzz you.
No.
Give you a little shocker. Zzz. Oh, okay.
No, but so what they would do is when you're a phone agent, sometimes they record your calls so that they can like coach you and train you to handle problems better in the future. Mm-hmm. And they had recorded this one call of mine when I was over in the accounts section helping people. And all the QA guys were coming up laughing later. And so what happened is this woman calls up and I get her phone call and she says, I think I need to remove my credit card from my account or from my son's account. He keeps spending money on here or whatever. Not an uncommon issue. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going through the spiel and then I ask her, okay, well, what's his screen name? She's like, oh, okay, I'll go ask him. So she's away for about 30 seconds and then I hear the phone pick up and still a little delay. Like I can just picture her in my head just being so embarrassed. She goes, okay, are you ready? I was like, yeah, go ahead. She's like, okay, I'm sorry already. She goes, doing your mom 169. Oh, God damn it. And I was just rolling on the floor and she laughed about it and she was a good sport. And then the QA guys came over later and they were just howling. And so whenever they'd see me, they started calling me doing your mom 169.
That perfectly came up. At my work, we have certain programs we have to use to get drawings or information about the job we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So there's this thing, if people log into their account, everyone has their own name password, so no one can fuck with their shit. Sometimes we would walk away with the app open to go get something out of the printer, or we're going to be back real quick. Well, when you leave, the prank was you would go and click the little thing where it can change your email settings and your name and stuff. And I never noticed, but we used to do it all the time. I mean, we used to say poop@gmail.com or some shit. Now, it got really serious. HR came in and started viewing everybody's shit, and they started noticing all this weird names happening. So I had to go in and talk to HR on the phone, and they were asking me, well, did you leave your computer open? Because you're not supposed to walk away and leave it open, or else you get in trouble. I was like, yeah. I made an excuse that I went down to the printer, and it was funny because she had to say it. She's also, you didn't see that someone wrote chode liquor at something in your account? I was like, no, I did not. I'm like, Jesus. But her having to have to say it to me as an HR rep, it was just funny. And I was trying hard not to laugh because we're taking it serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was some shit going on.
Now, Xbox was very similar in that we would always want to be pranking each other, but they were also very specific on what was like acceptable and not. And so what we did to get around some of their rules was we would do stupid things to their computer that didn't hurt anything but were just annoying. Mm-hmm. Like you can go in and you can change the orientation of their mouse and invert it. So when you move it left, it goes the other way. So we would do that one. And then we would do a screenshot of their whole like desktop and then set that as their background and move all their icons away. Oh, no. So they'd be trying to click shit. It wouldn't happen. And they started getting pissed that we were even doing that because it was wasting time fixing it all. Yeah. So they basically outlawed every prank we liked. So what we started doing was doing things that are not like full pranks, but just the stupider the prank, the more a reaction you would give. So like, if my buddy Mark went to the bathroom, I would go over to his desk real quick and like turn his phone upside down. Or like his mouse, just turn it upside down. Not even do anything to it. Just turn it upside down like that. And he'd get back and look at it and be like, oh my God, dude, you got me so good. And I'd just be like, yeah, bitch, boom. And
that's the fun. That's the fun.
Yeah. It was childish and fun, but like, and then eventually when people started kind of catching on to it, then we started using it in other ways. Like if someone was pissing you off, you'd be like, oh man, I can't wait after work, I'm gonna go and prank that guy's kneecaps in the parking lot. Or it just became a word for like fuck with, you know.
You know what other words to fuck with?
Oh,
Jesse's gay. That's a good one.
You know what you can't fuck with?
What?
Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Yeah, give me that mic, bitch. I don't know the words. I'm not. You know,
that's the only line of any other songs I know.
But I can,
and I only know it from Chappelle's show.
I can't hear out of my microphone.
Turn them shits up.
Turn them up. All right, shit. Turn them up. God, dude, me and my brother used to rewatch that shit all the time. He bought the DVDs when you used to have to buy the seasons, you know?
Oh, yeah, you were probably a little young to see it when it was actually airing, weren't you?
No, I was watched.
You did?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we would buy the DVD so we can watch it whenever we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time.
When that show came out, that was so much fun. I was working at Papa John's, and I think I was
Papa John's
19 when it was airing, like the first or second season, and it had just started to catch on in that area. And Aaron and I lived in a house directly behind Papa John's in Marysville. So when we would close up the store, everyone who was still working would come over and we would watch like the rerun from 2 hours earlier or something. And so it'd be like me and Tori, who's a girl that I worked with. And
Tori Spelling?
Yes, Tori Spelling
Holy
worked at Papa
shit.
John's with me. Yes.
Nice. Hope
Well
you
done.
banged her.
Well done,
Hope
Nick.
you banged her.
I see that your brain's fully recovered since our last show.
Yeah.
That was
You're
really
welcome.
well done.
You're
yes,
welcome.
Tori Spelling.
Yeah. Dumbass. Okay, carry on. Carry on.
No, it was a cool thing because it was the first time, like I'd never, there was no watch parties for any show before that I'd ever even heard of.
Yeah.
But like people would come over to do that with Chappelle's show. And then eventually my friend Alan would hold them for like House, which is a great show.
Yeah.
And then obviously people do like Game of Thrones. Here was a weird one. I went to I was trying to hang out with this girl who lived on Capitol Hill in Seattle.
She's gay.
Well, she wasn't, but all of her friends were.
Okay.
All of them, which is fine, but I didn't know that. And so I went down there and we were hanging out on like a Sunday evening or something, you know, walking around Capitol Hill. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
And then she said that we were going to go and watch this show at her friend's house. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So we go there and it's not like a stereotypical gay guy house or anything. It looks, you know, like my place or whatever.
Does it smell like Febreze?
No. And we sit down and there's like 8 guys watching with me and this one girl. And it was the show Queer as Folk. Or if you're a fan of The Office, Queer as Fuck. But But so they'd put that on, and not only did I have no context for what was happening in the show, I had never seen anything on HBO even before this.
Really?
Like, with just how explicit things were and how pervasive the language was. Like, I was still kind of coming out of my Christian upbringing shell, kind of sheltered. And then suddenly I'm in a room with all these people watching Queer as Folk on Capitol Hill in Seattle. And it was a strange experience.
Yeah.
I've got nothing against gay people now and never really did. But when I was brought up that way, you're taught that there's something wrong with them, and that's fucked up. And so it took a while.
Only on the Christianity side.
Right.
Religion.
But I was so involved in that shit for so long growing up that it took me a while of like consciously trying to rewire my brain, because I knew that there was nothing wrong with them, that it's totally fine and natural. But when you're not taught that for the first 18 years of your life, it can be a stretch to kind of overcome some of that. And I don't think that my sister fully has. Like, I don't know if she's fully accepting. We haven't spoken about it much. My brother Jared, he was slower to the party. He was still against him for a while, but he stayed with church longer into his life than I did.
What if fucking Jesus just came out and he's like, guys, fucking, I've been gay this whole time. Fucking, I didn't even have to, fucking Virgin Mary.
That's why I was walking around with 12 dudes.
Yeah, see?
And that's why Judas betrayed him.
All the religious people would kill themselves.
That's why Judas betrayed Jesus, because he had shunned him for Paul. That would probably be the most rallied against, like the most protested movie of all time, was if they made a movie where Jesus was gay.
Dude, we should do it.
We should.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it wouldn't change anything about his message. And even people who don't believe in Jesus usually appreciate that at least what he says in the Bible is all good stuff.
Dude, we could probably come up with a script for a stupid comedy stoner movie about Jesus coming out being gay.
Or like they time travel and they bring Jesus back from then to like now, and then like he's gay, and
we could totally do it. I feel like we could do it.
I mean, in the 70s, Monty Python's Life of Brian got a huge controversy going just by doing a movie about a guy who lived a similar life to Jesus.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be like one of the, I mean, there'd be boycotts. He'd probably get death threats from Christians. But
Yeah.
I've always
Same
wanted
thing
to,
happened to Kevin Smith with Dogma.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do one thing in my life that would warrant a protest from Westboro Baptist
You know
Church.
what? We're going to start a GoFundMe. A GoFundMe account.
GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Go fund yourself, man.
GoFundMe, the gay Jesus movie that we're trying to make.
That's what we should make, is a site instead of GoFundMe. It's like, go fund yourself.
I'm going to give myself $5 today.
Whenever you go to that site, it just takes you to your bank account.
Oh, my friend from work, his name's Derek. He wanted me to ask you something.
Okay.
He wanted me to ask you during all of this Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Where was Professor X during this time?
The X-Men don't live in the current Marvel universe. They didn't have the rights to them. Professor X and all the X-Men can't be in the MCU, or couldn't. But now that the Fox deal's done, in the next phase, I'm willing to bet we're going to get Fantastic Four and X-Men as part of Marvel now.
Yeah, but I mean, the X-Men were in it, technically.
No, they weren't.
In the comic book world.
Yeah, in the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
But the MCU didn't have the rights to put those characters in film.
Who owned it?
Fox.
They owned fucking X-Men?
Yeah, well, they own the film rights for it. So what happened is, in like the 90s, maybe even the 80s and 90s, Marvel optioned off a lot of their properties to film studios to get money to like keep the company afloat. Mm-hmm. And because they never thought that we'd hit a point like now where superheroes in movies would be a big lucrative deal.
They had to have known, dude. Everyone
They
likes
didn't.
fucking...
But there wasn't any in the 80s and 90s. There was like nothing superhero wise. You had like a Swamp Thing TV show, a Hulk TV show, and that's about it. But what happened with X-Men when like X-Men and Spider-Man came out is people go, fuck yeah, superhero movies can be awesome.
Yeah.
And so then Marvel, who wasn't able to sell rights to people like Captain America and Iron Man because no one was buying them, they started there and they went with the Avengers. And they acquired Spider-Man back from Sony for Civil War and onward. So that's now what's happened with X-Men. They've reacquired it. they're going to be able to put him in from now on.
Well, if Professor X was in there during that, do you think they'd be able to take care of Thanos a lot easier?
No, I'm willing to bet that if they had Professor X or any telepath in there, they would have just given Thanos the MacGuffin of having his helmet do the same thing Magneto's does, where it blocks out telepathy. Yeah. But also, Thanos is a immortal Titan, so he might be too strong of mind for Professor X to even get in.
That comic book I read, it totally threw me off because the Silver Surfer's in there. He's the main one that gets sent back to fucking warring Doctor Strange.
By the way, real quick, what Nick's talking about is I lent him my full, the book collection of comics that make up the Infinity Gauntlet saga.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in the comics, it's way different than the movies.
And there's a fucking She-Hulk in there.
Yep.
And there's all these Titans that are in there.
All the Celestials and stuff, yep.
And then fucking, what's his daughter's name?
Nebula.
Nebula fucking takes his glove and has the glove on for a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is not the movie at all.
And that's what I thought was going to happen in Endgame when the bad Nebula comes up. From
Nebula looks like a fucked up zombie in the comic book.
Because he had kept her there, like torturing her right on the brink of death indefinitely. And that's why when she gets the glove, she fucks everything up. Yeah. It's because she's so mad. So I thought, when they bring bad Nebula back from the past and she brings Thanos, I thought she was going to end up with the gauntlet and using it, and she didn't. And they totally deviated from it.
Gamora's in there, but then I was like, there's no Guardians of the Galaxy comic books, really.
There are.
There's only the new ones were 2000.
The new ones have the Guardians of the Galaxy as we see them in the movies.
Yeah.
The Guardians is kind of like the Avengers where they've had members come and go.
Yeah.
And some of the members look totally different in the books than they do on screen. Drax.
Drax is totally different.
Totally different. But the thing about the comics, so at the beginning, Gamora, Pip the Troll, and Adam Warlock are all in the Soul Stone
I don't know. Pip the Troll, I don't even know.
I had to look him up when I got the comic book too.
Yeah, okay.
He's a kind of an obscure character, but he's really used a lot for comic relief and stuff. But they're in the Soul Stone realm at the beginning, and then they inhabit those new bodies.
Yeah.
And I think if my theories plan out, I think what they could do, or maybe what they even will do, everyone thinks there's going to be a Black Widow prequel movie because she still has a solo film coming.
Yeah.
But you still have Gamora, the one that Thanos sacrificed. She's in the Soul Stone realm in the movies, and now so is Black Widow. So if they introduce Adam Warlock in the Soul Stone realm, he could bring both of those characters out of there without undoing their sacrifice.
I need to read who Adam Warlock is because I've never heard of him until I read this comic book.
And he's the main guy.
Yeah, I don't know where he came from or where he's I don't know.
Read up on it. At the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they do an Easter egg where you see a cocoon and she goes, I think I'll call him Adam. And that's how he was made. But that doesn't really explain his backstory. If you read his backstory, he's a pretty fascinating character. And in the comics, he ends up with the Infinity Stones 2 or 3 different times. And one of which, he's able to just constantly wear it and just have it because he's trusted by the Living Tribunal and all these other weird characters that they've got. But the thing I really wish we could have had in Endgame would at least have been Silver Surfer.
Yeah, because he's one of the main characters in there too. And it's just.
But now that Marvel has the rights not only to X-Men but Fantastic Four, that means they have Galactus, they have Silver Surfer. They can use all those characters in these movies now.
In the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector guy, isn't there a preview of the Celestial Titans or something? The big huge guys in there.
He's talking about how the stones were used in the beginning with the big Celestials who were able to wield them and stuff. Yeah,
I'm just I don't even know what these guys are all about either. Fucking Eternity and fucking this other big huge giant looking guy with a
those guys are called abstracts in Marvel, and what they are is they're being so powerful that they're an entire aspect of reality, eternity and space and universe and stuff like that. They've got so much more depth in the books, but they still did a pretty fucking good job doing it in the movies without having access to all those characters,
they did. I feel like they knew that right from the beginning of making the first Marvel movie because they're all connected somehow. And not having all those characters that are in the comics, that's some good writing right there.
Yeah, and it always bugs me, I don't know if you go online and read lists very often. I like to read lists, and whether I agree or disagree, I don't usually comment, but I just like to read them and see what other people think. And shit, what was I just saying about that?
Whisper.
Lists.
List. You like to read lists.
Rankings. I was gonna say something about rankings. What did you said just before that? Fuck, my brain is just melting on me.
How they were making all the movies and connected it to this last movie without bringing in the old characters in the fucking comic book. And you said you like looking up a list and the ranking and see what people write about and what their thoughts are. And Jesse's totally fucking fried. You know what I mean? He's totally fried.
And I'm not even like baked or anything. I just
That's the fucking
I'm getting
problem.
old. I'm getting old.
Yeah, you know, being in this band with you guys, I'm realizing I'm like the way youngest member in the band here.
You are. You've got like 5 years of youth on
I
any
know,
of us.
dude. I'm just like, this is like me like joining Motley Crue right now. I don't know.
Okay, take it easy.
Take it easy.
We're not. I mean, the other guys aren't going out on stage in using a walker or a cane. I might have to, but
I'm gonna wear tight pants.
Yeah. Also, really quick, we have a show coming up that we haven't actually mentioned much about our band at all on our own goddamn podcast.
I know. I was trying to keep it separate, but.
Well, yeah, but we talk about everyone else's shit, so we might as well spend a little time talking about our band. So we have a band called Pride Fails. We've mentioned it now and then.
It's not
Aaron's
Pride
part
Falls.
of it.
It's
not Pride Falls.
It's Pride Fails.
And Ben, one of our guests from season 1, he works at Tony V's Garage, and he's doing a big event called Slam in June. It's 2 days, and it's a big charity fundraiser benefit show for Strong Against Cancer this year. And he heard -1, which is one of the songs coming up on our EP.
That's my favorite one.
He liked it.
Yeah.
And based on hearing that, he gave us basically the best spot of the night. And so that'll be June 14th in Everett at Tony V's. And I think there's like suggested donations because it's a charity thing.
Yeah.
I'm not selling any merch or anything for that, but like it's going to be fun to be able to actually play live and do all the electronic stuff live.
When we were doing it beforehand, I kind of got the first show jitters out, right? And then I started kind of getting comfortable. Now I'm coming back to like, oh shit, I'm going to be nervous again.
No, man.
And I hope I don't just stand there again like I did last time because I'm scared and I don't want to fucking fuck up the song.
Well, here's the thing that I've had to do. I've been practicing trying to sing like during practice with my eyes open and looking at all the little pictures Eric Scott posted up to try and practice being able to like look at the crowd while I sing, because my whole music career, whenever I do it, and even doing comedy, it's hard for me to look at eye contact or whatever while I'm trying to perform something.
I think for me, I wouldn't want to see people's reaction.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But you should be playing now in practice how you want to do it on stage.
I did that and I hit you in the face on accident, so then I stopped.
You did. You got me really good right there. And
like...
it wasn't like a cut or anything, and I wasn't even mad. It just happened, but like another inch down and you might have had to take me to the hospital to get me a fucking pirate patch on my eye or something.
That's what... Fucking well, Aaron only gives me so much fucking room because apparently he needs half the fucking space.
He does. He needs half the space.
I know.
And he needs all of the attention.
I know. Yeah. Fuckface.
Yeah, I think when I'm doing vocals, I'm gonna go with the Maynard thing and just either not be on stage or be behind Ron and just
I'm coming up
a little
with
silhouette.
Yeah, I'm coming up with a look too.
Or maybe I'll do the.
Yeah, you can't
see me. I'm John fucking Cena.
You think Aaron's gonna wear a button-up shirt?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I kind of. I don't know. I kind of feel like we're past the point where we really have to dress up a whole lot.
Well, I feel like we should. I feel like everybody that's like big or famous has some type of like look. I mean, we used to just go as like the clothes that we're wearing right now.
Yeah, like bands like Newfound Glory and Story of the Year and Green Day to a lesser extent. People like that, sure.
I was thinking of just trying something different this time, and I think I'm going to.
Banana hammock?
No, it could be. I don't know.
You don't know yet?
No.
Get a big onesie with like a butt flap on it.
That would be hilarious.
It would be.
They wouldn't let me play like that.
Yeah, they would.
The guys in the band would be like, oh, fuck that. We're taking this fucking seriously, guys.
Dude, they had... Oh, you mean the other guys?
Yeah.
In the band?
Yeah.
I was like, Tony's would totally let you do that. But
no, yeah.
You might have to fight Aaron and Eric on that one for sure. But before we get too far sidetracked, we also had a couple singles drop in the last 2 weeks. Case in Point and Incomplete, both on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, all
Google
that
Play,
shit.
YouTube.
YouTube Music, all of it. And we're not even really trying to like plug or promote, but it's something that we do. This show is something that we love to do separately from that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we do love to do both, and we should be able to take advantage of our platform here occasionally.
Our fucking 81 followers on Facebook. You guys look it up.
Ooh, 81.
There's 81. It's going to be hard because the people, like, they can just go listen to this on Spotify and shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's going to be a long road to try to get us a following.
Well, I mean, we've got some people who listen every week, and like Stephanie and Bree, and Aaron listens a lot now. Bowman, he's going to be coming on the show soon, and
Like
he
I
started listening.
like listening to podcasts when I have to like do shit at home. Like if I have to clean the kitchen, I'll turn on a podcast, or if I'm at work, I'll fucking put on a podcast all night instead of music. So I mean, podcasts are nice to waste time and stuff.
And thank you all for wasting your time with us assholes.
Yeah. It's really hard. Like if you try to masturbate and listen to a podcast, it's really hard to finish.
It's easy for me when I listen to our own podcast.
Is it? It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
I'm
Jesse, you're almost there. Keep it going, Jesse. Keep it going.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep.
I'm so narcissistic that when I have sex with a girl, I'm fantasizing that I'm whacking off.
I'm picturing myself while I'm looking at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put a picture of my own face on the back of her head or something.
What is this?
Jesus.
It's a picture of your own face so I could see you looking at me from behind. Little did you know it's my own face.
Why didn't you want a mirror? Because I can't put my face on your face in a fucking mirror.
How about your face? What time is it?
It's getting to be that point.
Is it?
Why you were like mid joke and then you just stopped? What time is it?
What time is it?
What time is it? You went to take a Xanax and some rap.
Have you ever had a
Rap little
Xanax?
bit. No.
No.
Not that I know of, at least.
It's really weird.
What does it do?
It makes you feel like if you're really depressed and want to kill yourself, you take a Xanax and it pops you right back up.
So it's like jacking off?
Yeah. But it lasts a lot longer than like 5 seconds.
Speak for yourself, man.
You can't orgasm for more than 5 seconds.
No. But you can rub it for more than 5 seconds.
If you, for some reason, got stuck in a girl's body for 10 hours, would you be a slut for those 10 hours?
No, but I'll bet your dick would come out looking like a wrinkly little prune.
Yeah.
You know, like when your fingers get wet. If you got... How would you get... Never mind. I don't even want to know how you'd get stuck in a girl for 10 hours. That's horrifying.
Have you seen fucking Freaky Friday? You know?
No.
I don't know shit. What?
Why would I watch Freaky
You
Friday?
never seen Freaky Friday?
No.
Growing up? It's just,
I wasn't allowed to watch basic like movies and TV that everyone else grew up with growing up. The Smurfs were evil because they used magic.
Oh,
the
God.
Simpsons were evil because Bart had a bad attitude. And, like...
What?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. That's what my mom didn't like was Bart Simpson's attitude. She didn't want us to become sarcastic little assholes.
Do you remember...
Look at me now, Mom.
The fucking... Speaking of Michael Jackson, do you specifically...
Wait, what?
Speaking of
when
Michael
did we
Jackson...
speak of Michael Jackson?
Fucking earlier before we started the podcast.
Oh, good.
Do you remember where you were when you heard that he died?
No.
Like, I heard something about people always remember where they were exactly what they were doing when they were fucking heard that Michael Jackson's dead. I remember I was on the freeway driving home and I heard it on the radio.
Yeah, no idea. I remember where I was when Prince died. And I remember where I was when Bowie died. Michael Jackson was never a big deal for me, so...
Okay.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this one up then, shall we?
Let's wrap it up. Get
All
your
right.
Trojans.
Yeah, we've got some cool guests coming up in the next few weeks. In fact, we might ditch the alternating only us and end with a guest and just do a couple straight episodes with guests in a row because we just have a lot of people who want to do the show.
I know. Hopefully a couple years from now we can have a famous person, huh?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Well, this has been I'm
wonderful
glad that we're
evening.
back.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're back. Yeah, sorry for the delay, guys. We don't want to do breaks like that unless it's like in between seasons, but sometimes life comes up, and I was sick
about
that
to
whole time anyway.
fucking jump off a bridge, and then Jesse had to come save me. So
Yeah, I had to give him mouth to mouth for some reason, even though he wasn't choking. It was the weirdest thing.
I'm choking on air, Jesse. Save me. You got a nice tongue twister, though. That's good.
Oh, it's a nice tongue twister, is it?
Yeah, a.
You gotta say your hard R's.
R's
to be Irish.
Oh, I'll trade you 2 sheep for 1 camel. That was not it.
Nope.
Nope. Not. I'm gonna work on that.
We're going to end on that note then. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Cheeky Shenanigans. Once again, his name is...
My name's Punkass. I'll trade you 2 sheep for the 1 camel. That was like an Irish Indian, dude. That was weird. Okay, my name's Punkass. This is Cheeky Shenanigans. Jesse's gonna fucking do it out.
Do it out.
Do it out.
Do it out, do it up. What are you... Quit touching things.
It's the cord.
It's the cord. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Jesse, Nick, you know the deal. We're out, and we will see you next week.
Get the guns.
And oh yeah, and I gotta click this button too.
Click it.
Cheeky Shenanigans. Punk ass radio.